Okay, welcome to the encounter alert update that I posted about last week. First of all, we go through some smaller changes in the reminder settings. A lot of settings have been moved away from the menu and are now in a dropdown of the individual display type. Some settings have reset. I think it's hide timer text, maybe something else, some minor things. It might actually have been color, whatever. Some new ones. Basically, you should probably go through this, make sure everything looks correct for you. There's also a circle type now. You can also display icons in text now, because previously if you provided a spell ID, it would always be an icon or a bar. But now in WoW Utils, Visaria has this update ready. You can specify the display type, so you can just say, even if it has a spell ID, I still want it as text. You can also access this through the anchor button here, which is visible on every menu, the add-on. Let's go through the main thing here, the encounter alerts. This is how it will look like when you get the update first time. Everything will have to be deleted. To get it back, you go to additional options and enable import reload reminders. This will just automatically import everything that I have created. And if I add anything new to a new boss comes out, whatever, like for Rotmeier, for example, there's some stuff already, it'll automatically get imported. Now you can already see there are some of them are grouped. Let's go to Lura instead. You can right-click these to get a lot of settings, where you can move them to a different group. You can remove them from a group. One thing to mention here is that groups are boss-specific. You cannot move a Lura alert to a Valorant group. That doesn't work. There are also, like here, I mean, you already saw the boss drop-down. There's also a difficulty drop-down. So this is all difficulty specific as well. Heroic and normal won't have much, but it's there. Other right-click options here is pin to top. You can see there's some already pinned there. It's quite obvious what it does. There is reset, which is when we'll get to these settings, but basically if you've made any changes and like you didn't like it, you broke it or whatever, you can just hit reset, right? And it resets it to the default settings of this alert. And there's also export. You can export a single alert, like just right click, whatever. You can export an entire group. You can also export an entire boss, which would be the button at the bottom here. Or you can export everything and you just go to all bosses and export. It's still difficulty specific here, so you can't like export everything, but you can just like all mythic basically with this. Also good to mention is that the profile export and import does not include the encounter alerts, because it has its own export, right? And then lastly, duplicate here. The point of duplicate is because normally, like for reminders that are created by me, you cannot change the timers here, because that's like I need to be able to override these timers every time, because like there's a boss update, I need to fix things, whatever, like I can't let you edit these. But if you really want to, you can duplicate them and then you get access to it. Everything else stays the same. And now you can edit this tab as well. But just keep in mind that if there's like maybe you duplicate this, you don't use mine anymore, you use your own because, I don't know, you changed this to be 1 second earlier, whatever. But then you're not getting any updates for this anymore. Like you have to like keep this working yourself then. Okay, this is the right click menu. Then some alerts, usually the ones that are pinned to the top, but not always, might have an extra option thing here. Keep in mind also like because everything reset, also the memory game thing here also reset the position. Yeah, it's just some extra settings here, right? Like, whatever. One thing while we are at the runes display, the texture files for them are no longer required. They are only required if you drag the macro on your bar and you want the correct icon. Otherwise, you do not need them. Like for this map display here, we do not need the texture files anymore. Apparently there was another method to do it that I didn't know about, but now it's in there. You don't need to replace these files anymore. Some alerts, like the interrupt display, for example, will not have a preview. It will always tell you in chat why that is. Either it like doesn't make sense to have a preview, or like in this case, like this has its own entire system. Which, by the way, there's also an interrupt bar now from the, like it was in the weak aura, right? And if you want that, you can enable it as well. Right. There is also a search bar. For example, maybe I want all taunts because there are now taunt alerts, and I only see those. As you can also see, these are disabled by default. There are not a lot of alerts that are disabled by default. It's mainly the taunts, but also important for progression. The seed drop bar is disabled by default because I didn't want that everyone to have this. Right? Only seed carriers will want this, but those should make sure to enable this. And then also, of course, you can create your own alerts. Maybe, I don't know, on Valorant, you want to remind yourself to use a defensive. When do I want this? I don't know, phase 1, 30 seconds and 90 seconds in. By the way, keep in mind, these timers are when the alert finishes, right? So if you put in 30 seconds and it has a duration of 6 here, the alert will start showing at 24 and then finish at 30. You can obviously change the duration, you can have it sticky, you can add a spell ID to it, you can change the icon in the list here, that's what the right thing does. You can glow a frame, change it to a circle, disable text to speech, I don't know, add a sound file, preview it. Does it look good? I don't know, probably not. Yeah. There's also a load tab, which includes role, classes, and specializations, and also character names. Again, by default, everything is disabled, which just means when everything is unticked, it means it is enabled for everyone. And if you select 3 of these things, only one of them has to match for it to load. That's how it works. Anything that's not loaded is grayed out in the list, as you can see here. Yeah. Then maybe about phases, because on Valorant it's not super obvious, or like other bosses, how it works. The best way to understand how the add-on works with phases is to look at WoW utils. Here, this is Valorant, for example. The red bars indicate when a phase swap happens, and this always matches the logic of the add-on. So in this case, it's when the boss starts casting Death Drop. We will all, like in this case, there's also almost phase swaps. You will also notice it happens when new boss timers appear. So if you like, I don't know, you wanna show something when this starts, this is 158, death drop is 150. So in this case, you would put in 8 seconds for the trigger and phase 2, because this is start of phase 2, right? Everything to the left is phase 1. Also, while we're at Veteran, there are 2 new alerts here. One is that those are the weak auras that people previously used for Veteran. One is just shows you the color, and one shows you when your color has swapped during the cast of the boss. And yeah, I think that is already it. One thing, like maybe to remind you, especially if you're a raid leader, make sure to tell people when they get the update, they need to enable these again, right? Like otherwise you're just getting to Lura and then nothing works. If you just click on this, basically everything works exactly as it was before, and then you can make changes on top of that. And then maybe like make sure, like for example, like lower right on P3, you want to select your side. For example, I'm on the right side, I select these 4, and I'm done. Or like maybe you raid with multiple characters, you could even utilize the loads, right? And yeah, timing wise, I don't know this video, like I want to push the update on Tuesday and a reset on the alpha branch. So if you set it on alpha, on WoW, Orb, Curse, Forge, whatever, you will have the update then already. It's important you cannot go back after you have the update. Like, if you're on alpha now and you get the update and then you're like, I want to go back to what I had before because, like, I don't know, something didn't work or whatever. I mean, you can, but things will probably break. I'm not supporting back like it going backwards. I'm only supporting it going forwards in versions. So like, just keep that in mind. And then the actual release will probably happen a week later, unless like it's not stable or whatever. Yeah. And then lastly, if you have any other suggestions, questions, whatever, ideally ask in the Discord. Discord is linked at the bottom here. But I mean, I guess I will also read YouTube comments, but no promise that I will answer there, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's it. Good luck out there.